Hello everyone! Have you ever walked through a city on a hot summer day and noticed that it feels much warmer than the countryside? That isn't just your imagination. This is a real phenomenon called the urban heat island effect, and it's affecting cities all over the world. So, what is the urban heat island effect? It is a phenomenon that makes cities significantly hotter than surrounding rural areas due to human activities and dense infrastructure. This temperature difference can result in serious consequences, including increased heat-related deaths, higher energy consumption from air conditioning, and worsening air pollution. Today, we'll explore how it appears in England and what policies and designs can help tackle this challenge.
First, let's look at the evidence of the urban heat island effect in England. Average temperatures in Taiwan have been increasing each year, and a similar pattern can be seen in England. This rise may be influenced by the urban heat island effect, global warming, and differences in latitude. To explore these factors, we selected one city and one rural area from 3 regions of England. In the north, we chose Manchester and Oldham. In the middle, Birmingham and Malvern. And in the south, London and Shrewsbury. Comparing these pairs helps us understand how urbanization and latitude affect temperature differences. To demonstrate the urban heat island effect, we analyzed temperature changes across 4 periods: 1760 to 1840, 1879 to 1914, 1947 to 2011, and 2011 to the present. In the chart, blue represents cities, orange represents rural areas, and gray represents global temperature. Both urban and rural temperatures rise over time, reflecting global warming. However, cities remain consistently warmer than rural areas, confirming the urban heat island effect. The continued rise in global temperature may further intensify this temperature difference. And this situation doesn't only happen in the north. It also appears in the middle and southern parts of England. Interestingly, the temperature difference is greatest in the south, moderate in the middle, and smallest in the north. This pattern may be linked to city size. London is the largest city, followed by Birmingham and then Manchester. Larger cities have denser infrastructure and human activity, which can intensify heat retention. Therefore, city size may influence the severity of the urban heat island effect. To support our idea, we also look at the number of factories in each area. Overall, factories increased in all 6 locations with time. However, during 1947 to 2011, the number of factories in cities and Oldham actually went down. We found that people had become more aware of global warming and the urban heat island effect, which may have caused this decrease. In rural areas like Malvern and Shrewsbury, the issue was less serious, so the number of factories kept rising. Next, we examined building materials, which can also influence the urban heat island effect. We found that cities and rural areas use similar materials during the same periods. Then materials changed from brick and stone to concrete, and later to more sustainable green materials. This shift was driven not only by durability but also by growing awareness of global warming and the urban heat island effect. Now let's talk about the current situation in the UK.
In recent years, we have seen a significant increase in the number of factories across the UK. This growth directly leads to higher energy consumption and CO2 emissions, which further intensifies the heat trapped within urban centers. However, simply building more green buildings isn't a perfect solution. It comes with its own set of obstacles. As we mentioned earlier, most UK cities are using green buildings to improve our environment. But when we talk about transitioning to green buildings in the UK, we still face 2 major concerns. First, supply chain and costs. Sourcing sustainable material is often expensive and complex. Second, the indoor air quality problem. We must ensure that energy efficient, airtight designs don't compromise the health of the people inside. So, how do we solve the problems?
Our first solution targets the supply chain. To lower cost and carbon footprint, we propose using standardized parts made locally in the UK, such as timber frames. By localizing production, we can make green construction more affordable through economies of scale. To cope with air quality and heat, we suggest switching to breathable natural materials like hempcrete, a sustainable building material made from the inner-woody core of the hemp plant mixed with lime and water. For example, UK Hempcrete is a local company in the UK which provides hempcrete construction and technical support. This indicates that this material is already being used there and it can also realistically be applied in green building projects in the UK. Also, design can help reduce urban heat. In the UK, some brilliant designs include Crossrail Place roof garden in London and West House in Brighton. Other innovative designs in other countries can also give inspiration. For instance, the honeycomb ceiling at Shenzhen Airport in China naturally circulates air, regulates temperature without heavy air conditioning, and improves indoor air quality. Germany used window corridors by limiting building heights to allow cool air to flow through cities, improving ventilation and reducing urban heat. The approach could benefit UK cities like London, Birmingham, and Manchester. In the Netherlands, water squares act as playgrounds during dry weather and store rainwater during storms. They cool surrounding areas and reduce flooding, making this concept suitable for UK cities such as London, Manchester, and York. From what has been mentioned, we learned that many countries are fighting against the urban heat island effect with various efforts. The UK government is no exception, of course. Currently, the government has implemented some related policies. However, these policies focus more on indoor environment or new development. We believe there is still significant potential to improve cooling in outdoor public spaces. So, here is our recommended policy.
First of all, the government could provide incentives or support to public and private institutions, or even require them to adopt greener practices. For example, they could install advanced shading structures and canopies using high-performance reflective membranes, which are made from durable materials like PTFE-coated glass fiber, act like mirrors by reflecting sunlight before it hits the ground, keeping outdoor spaces cooler. What makes this approach even more practical is that these membranes are manufactured right here in the UK by local factories, such as Fuller Gel-Coated Fabrics and J&J Carter. Another effective green practice would be the use of misting systems and water features. Using evaporative cooling, fine mist absorbs heat as it evaporates, lowering the temperature of both surrounding air and ground surfaces. While shading and misting systems help cool the air, permeable paving can reduce heat on the ground by letting water soak instead of trapping it. The UK already has a strong local supply for these materials. For example, Marshalls makes the Priora system a high-performance permeable block paving solution, and Tarmac provides porous asphalt, a dark, sticky material designed to let water pass through it.
However, to avoid favoring any specific companies and to encourage more companies to work for the environment, the government could encourage more companies to invent locally suitable materials and make them more affordable. By utilizing these locally sourced UK materials, we can maintain high architectural standards while supporting the domestic economy. To make this a reality, the government could promote these ideas and policies by hosting green building seminars with industry experts, organizing exhibitions to showcase cooling technologies, and integrating these concepts into community programs and the school curriculum to teach people how these solutions reduce urban heat. In conclusion, by combining cooling designs, locally produced materials, education, and feasible government policies, we can make UK cities cooler, healthier, and more sustainable, turning the challenge of urban heat into an opportunity for a smarter, greener future. Thank you for listening.